Good morning.
Good morning.
Sneaking around you.
We are going to start this meeting. It is 9:30 a.m. or maybe it's even 9:31 a.m. We've got a full meeting today, terrific meeting, lots of announcements, a fantastic speaker. Can we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, folks. I am Lori Vinacourt, Executive Vice President of the Alliance of Delray Residential Associations. Where is Bob? Bob has a personal health issue with his wife. Bob is fine, but he needs to take care of his wife right now. He'll be back next month. The first thing we do is announce our guests. Anyone who's not going to be speaking up here as a speaker, we're going to announce. So we have Stan Goodman, our Vice President, to do that.
We're honored and fortunate to have the following dignitaries at our meeting. Please hold your applause until I'm done. Howie Zimmerman, Property Appraiser's Office. Alexis Andres, Florida Sugarcane League. Todd Bondlaron, Palm Beach County Assistant Administrator. Lisa De La Rionda, Palm Beach County Public Affairs. Mort Mazer, Sun Sentinel. Dana Santino, candidate for County Court Judge. Greg Tendridge, candidate for County Court Judge. Harvey Arnold, Chairman, Palm Beach County Water Board. Ed Souls, South County Democratic Club. Leslie Schreiber, Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. Andre DeFonte, Tax Collector's Office. Anthony Terzo, AMR. Terry Karst, Vitas. Megan White, Mayor Berger's Office. Charity Lewis, Congresswoman Frankel's Office. Terry Mitzi, Representative Schlossberg's Office. Rosemary Raymond, Lake Worth Drainage District. Freddie Scott, Commissioner Abrams' Office. Joe Duffy, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. Lori File, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Diana Johnson, County Clerk's Office. Doug Lyons, Congresswoman Frankel's Office. Richard Nemad, Kent Security. Commissioner Bert Aronson. Wendy Lipsick, Congressman Deutsch's office. And Teresa from Representative Rader's office. Welcome all.
I have four major speakers here before we get into our main presentation of the morning with Virginia Baker County Administrator. I have Captain DeBardino, Rick Christmas from Firefighters, Susan Bucher will say a word, and Mayor Berger. If there's any other major elected official here who would like to speak, just let me know. Just a few announcements before we go into our list of speakers. Summer's been busy for the Alliance, really busy. We keep busy working on that. Remember Delray Medical Center, we have a health expo with them. We helped them with their cereal drive to get food to the poor, and it went directly into the heart of Delray Beach, right to the Cary Kitchen. The Alliance does not turn its back on the needy. And remember, we work with Orchard View Elementary School. We sort of adopted that school. We actually have adopted it, and we're doing great work with it. Volunteerism is fantastic with that. The vendors fair, we work constantly on that all year long, and that's going to be bigger than ever. Remember, this is our 20th anniversary celebration year, 1996 to 2016. Wow. There are three super important people here who were actually on the first board of directors of the Alliance 20 years ago. And they are Evelyn Spielboat, still our secretary, Harold Kleiman, and Ed Goldwasser. they still remain active and still help us. And we're going to be doing a lot more this year. If you will look in your Nostalgic America magazines that are on your desk, under our Alliance spread, you will see already the first in many articles we'll have this year of what the Delray Alliance has done. And one thing, we brought that, and with the help of Ed Goldwasser and a past executive vice president of the Alliance who's no longer with us, Frank Behrman, they had brought together and worked on that South County Courthouse. So that's one of the main things we did in the beginning years, besides other things that you'll be reading about every month in that Nostalgic America magazine. We have some new assistants on the board, and it's really wonderful to have people step up and help. So welcome Ann Abrahamian, thank you, and she's helping with her expertise. And we may even have another one next month to announce. We have some people interested and have the certain skills that we really need to go forth into the 21st century with all of the digital information that we get out. Can we please have Captain DiBerardino up here to tell us a few things about what's going on?
Morning, everybody hear me? All right, first of all, I want to introduce, I haven't been able to publicly introduce our new lieutenant in District 4, that's Lori Files. She's over here in the corner. She's been with me the entire summer. She's doing a great job, and she's going to do a great job for you. Second of all, just a reminder, we're in hurricane season. Please be ready. If you guys have any questions, you can call my office, but I think we know what to do by now. Just rest assured, if we do get hit with a storm, we'll be here for you after it hits, okay? Crime. Crime is pretty much steady, actually a tad lower than last year, just a tad, not significant enough. However, I'm kind of pleased with that because we have a lot more people living here now, and a lot of these new developments going up that are filling up, so it's not bad. The only trend I want to talk to you today about, if you could get the word out to your communities, is vehicles with these new key fobs. Okay, people are leaving their vehicle unlocked with one of their extra key fobs inside the car. So thieves, even if they live in the neighborhood, whoever they are, grandkids, nephews, nieces, whatever, walk in, walk up to the car, open it, get in, they start it, and drive off. We've even had them to where they drive it all night, bring it back. And people didn't even know they got their car stolen until they look at the mileage. So if you could just get the word out, we gotta remove those things. It just makes it way too easy, too much of a target. Other than that, thank you. Thanks as always for your support. We look forward to a good season. Call us if you need us.
Thank you for all the information you bring to us. And I think it's appropriate that right now we tell everybody what next month's really special program is going to be about. And it's how to handle an active shooter situation. We will not have a live demonstration. No. But this is something that's being a tutorial throughout the country, and we're bringing it here. I think we're the first civic organization here to bring it. The active shooter presentation, and Captain DiBerardino is going to also speak on some Homeland Security. So it's all through the PBSO, and we thank you very much. It is so important that we get that information out. Rick Christmas from our firefighters, just taking the place this month from Tony, when he comes. Here you go, thank you.
Good morning, my name is Rick Christmas. I'm filling in for Tony Keeler today. He's up in New York City for the 911 tribute. And we have three people, South, Central, and North, and I'm the Central guy for the community relations. I just want to speak this morning and say what I always tell my people in the Central. Palm Beach County Fire Rescue is always #1 about a safety message, always. That's our whole goal. When you call 911 and you're in an emergency, that's what we come for. But outside of that, we always like to take care of you inside your communities. And we're always pushing yellow dot, fire safety. Right now we're going to do a big hit on carbon monoxide poisoning, which is really starting to become a little bit of a small epidemic with the keyless cars, the fobs. Turn them on to get in your garage, you forget to turn it off, the garage door closes, and the outcome is not very good. So we're really going to push that, but we can never teach you enough about fall prevention, can never teach you enough about fire safety, hands-on CPR. If we keep pushing that and keep you just aware of it, we feel like we can wipe out and have 100% of no accidents outside. So we're always going to push that. So again, we're always about a safety message. Tony always likes to get your information, get in your communities with our pub ed, and continually do that. So we're always about that. Never forget, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue is a safety message. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rick. One thing we can say is that you never, ever let us down. There's always someone here to give us that important information. We have Susan Booker. And on the way up, congratulations, Susan Booker. Remember, there is a survey, and we'd like to hear from you. This will help us with programming for the future. So please get it back to me, and my email address is on there in case you have any questions about anything. You can always contact me. Susan Booker.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just came to say thank you. I was re-elected with 77.49% of the vote. Thank you. And so as I begin my next 4 years, I want to put a really strong message out. You know how we always talk about vote by mail or vote early? It poured rain on election day, and it dampened our voter turnout. And so we're just now ramping up for the November 8th election. It will be a very important election. And so if you haven't already, I need you to either request a vote by mail ballot, or I need you to come to one of the 15 early voting places. We're going to open early voting on October 24th. It will be open for 14 days in a row from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And of course you can go to any one of the early voting sites. This is one of them. Hagen Ranch is popular here, and we'll have all of them open. And I also want to extend a great thank you to all of the poll workers who worked on election day. Eat your Wheaties, take your vitamins. It's going to be a big election. Come out and vote. And thank you very much, Delray Alliance. Couldn't do it without you. Have a great day.
Did I tell you all that she's the supervisor of elections? Yes, we all know. And now we have Mayor Mary Lou Berger.
Good morning, Alliance. Good morning. No, you're not awake yet. Let's try that one more time. Good morning, Alliance. Good morning. Much better, much better. I've missed you guys. I'm so glad to be back here. We take that break in the summertime, and I miss seeing you. Some of you call me, but most of you I have not spoken to in the last few months. I wanted to tell you, when Lori announced that this is an anniversary for the Delray Alliance, I wanted to let you know that I was not here for the first meeting, but I believe I was here for the second meeting. I had just gone to work for Commissioner Aronson, and he said, you need to go to this meeting for me. And I did, and it was the Alliance, so I have been with you, I think, your entire time, with the exception of that very first meeting. I missed that first meeting. And to couple that, this month is my 27th year of service to Palm Beach County. And I'm really proud of that, because not all employees make it quite that far. I'm very proud today that, and I know Lori is going to introduce our county people, but I'm very proud to have the top leadership in Palm Beach County with us this morning to educate all of us on the proposed referendum for the sales tax increase. And I will let them do that, but I'm very proud that they're here with us. They're hard workers, they're great people, and they work hard for you. And finally, I want to reiterate what the captain said, and please, please, please remember, we are in the height of hurricane season. I know I wrote about it a couple of months to you. And by the way, those of you that are not on my mailing list, to get a copy of my monthly little newsletter, please see Megan before you leave and give her an email address so you can be put on that list, and we try to keep you informed on what's going on around the county. But please remember, it's hurricane season. I hope you've got your supplies in, your plan made, and understand that we all need to help each other. We dodged a bullet once, but that may not may not be that lucky in the next couple of months. So with that, I'm happy to be back with you. If you have any issues, please feel free to talk to me, which is something you're never afraid to do, is come and talk to me. So thank you very much.
Our very approachable mayor, Mayor Berger, very approachable, very sweet, very kind, and strong. A strong leader for the county. We have one person who had come in that is, everybody knows our representative, Irv Schlossberg, right? He is still our representative till the election time comes. And who ran for his position, we didn't announce her, that's Emily Schlossberg. She's the representative-elect. So welcome, and then we'll be seeing more of her in the future. There is still an election to go in November, but welcome and congratulations to you. We are getting onto our speaker. So what do we have first? We have a commercial, a 2-minute commercial. And we have Louise Petrides here from the LifeSpace Communities. And she sponsored our breakfast today, and she'll tell you a few things about Lifestyle Communities, Abby Del Rey, I'm sure you've heard of them. And here is Louise Petrides.
Thank you, Lori. Good morning. What a lovely audience, and thank you for the very warm welcome. I'm Louise Petrides, Director of Business Development for your neighbors nearby, Abby Del Rey South, and Harper's Edge, where we celebrate the lives of seniors. We're delighted to sponsor your meeting today, and further I wish to thank you for allowing me to take a few minutes from your very busy agenda to share a little bit about us. The Abbeys and Harper's Edge are beautifully appointed retirement communities, part of the LifeSpace family. LifeSpace is our parent company, which is headquartered in Des Moines, Iowa, and owns and operates 12 communities such as ours nationwide. We're nonprofits, 501c3s, so any revenue that we generate is put back into our communities for services and amenities for our residents. We are also life care communities. Simply put, that means that we provide for our residents from the moment they move in to the end of their lives. People move in when they're healthy and able to live independently, and as their needs change, we are there for them. We help them age in place, as we call it in the industry, graciously and comfortably from independent living to skilled care. And by the way, our skilled care communities at all of our health centers, at all of our communities, have earned 5 stars from Medicare, which is the highest rating that you can receive. And they are open to the public for both short-term rehab and long-term care. So life care communities like ours afford a number of benefits. One of them is financial. 2 of the biggest expenses as we age and are on fixed income are housing and healthcare costs. Life care answers both of those needs. It's a long-term care policy that gives you a home and health care for a lifetime at a fixed premium that you pay up front. Life care also offers tax advantages, asset preservation, and protection against rising health care costs, which, by the way, are going up from 5 to 9% a year. And best of all, if residents outlive their resources, we lend a hand through our Benevolent Care Foundation, so residents never have to leave their homes or turn to their loved ones for financial assistance, and that provides great peace of mind. Another benefit of life care is that residents enjoy 3 to 5 more years quality of life, according to the statistics. One reason for that at our communities is our strong commitment to successful aging. At the heart of our lifestyle is Masterpiece Living, a holistic approach to wellness created by Dr. Roger Landry, a preventive medicine physician. Dr. Landry found that 70% of positive aging involves lifestyle choices diet, exercise, social and intellectual activity, and only 30% is based in hereditary factors. This program provides opportunities and guidelines for our residents to live happier, healthier lives, lives that are fully engaged, empowered, and enriched. I would like to close with just a few facts about our impact in Delray. Within Abbey Delray South and Harbor's Edge, we serve close to 1,300 residents with a staff that numbers more than 500. We are passionate about social accountability, evidenced by our Footprint program, a new program which gives employees paid time off to volunteer for a nonprofit organization of their choice. Last year, we donated over 300 volunteer hours and nearly $35,000 to the community at large. I would love to tell you more about our communities, schedule a tour for you if you're interested, or extend an invitation to one of our upcoming events. Please stop by our Life Space table in the back of the room. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sponsoring our breakfast. Did I mention that Mike Pratt is here? Oh, Mike Pratt from the Property Appraisers. Well, here we have our speaker. We're all very interested and waiting to hear this presentation. It's about money. That's what it's about, right? Here's a little introduction about Virginia Baker, our county administrator. We all saw her last year. She came here and spoke to us. For years and years and years, she was a heartbeat away from the county administrator position, and now she is our county administrator. She had lots of plans, and things are happening, and things have been really good this past year. But I'm going to just present, just to give you a little bit about what the administrator does. Palm Beach County is governed by 7 elected commissioners, we all know that, and an appointed county administrator, and the administrator has executive powers to implement the policies and procedures set forth by the Board of County Commissioners. The county administrator manages an annual budget of approximately $4 billion and oversees some 6,100 county employees in more than 30 departments, divisions, and offices. Together, they must work in concert to provide quality services, programs, and information to us. We are many of 1.32 million residents in Palm Beach County. Please help me welcome to the lectern to provide information on the penny tax, the tax referendum, Virginia Baker.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, let's get all excited here. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you, Alliance of Delray Beach, for inviting me to speak to you this morning. I had the privilege last year, and I was excited about coming back again this year when Lori asked me to come speak to you regarding the infrastructure sales tax. And so I'm here today to provide you with a significant amount of information, just so that you know we're in the business of ensuring that your quality of life remains. You moved here because you like the quality of life here in Palm Beach County. We want to maintain it. And with the downturn in the economy, we were not able to maintain our infrastructure as we had in the past. So that is what I'm here to talk to you about this morning. At your seat, there is a brochure that we have put together, and we've tried to put the major facts in this brochure. We've also created a website, and it is www.onecounty1penny.org. Go onto that website. You can click on the icons that will tell you specifically what projects are in your area. I will talk about it in general this morning, but if you want extensive details, you go to this website and it will be provided for you. The website is a collaboration between the county, the school board, and municipalities. Some municipalities have submitted their plans, others have not. But the ones that have, they're included on this particular website. And before I go any further, I'd also like to introduce Faye Outlaw. Faye is our new Assistant County Administrator. She is responsible for planning, zoning, and building. And I know a lot of you interact with her. And you heard Todd Malaren being announced earlier, Todd. He's also one of my new Assistant County Administrators, but he's been with the county a very long time. He was our Legislative Delegation Affairs Director. And so I bumped him upstairs a little further, and we replaced him with Rebecca De La Rosa. And so Todd will continue to work with us on the legislative issues, but she will be our lead person when it comes to lobbying in Tallahassee. I also have with me Lisa Deloranda, and Lisa is our Director of Public Affairs. She and her staff, along with input from major department heads and the executive staff, put together this brochure. So I hope that you find it helpful. Some of the questions that I have been getting, one in particular is always the first question, and that is, how'd you get in this position, the backlog infrastructure? And the backlog infrastructure is a result of deferred renewal and replacement, resulting from lack of funding during the recent recession. It expanded the scope of work due to us deferring, and so therefore the costs continued to escalate. And increasing needs for parks, roads, buildings, and other public facilities to be repaired, because we entered a perfect storm during the recession. The recession hit, the Board of County Commissioners made a conscious decision not to impact the operating levels of service, and so therefore we had to balance the budget with the minimal dollars that we had. So capital renewal and replacement was the first that we started to significantly reduce. In addition, we maintained the operating side of dollars. And as you know, it is very, very important to restore and replace your type of roofs, your HVAC, etc. What it does is it ensures continuity of operations and reliability. It reduces reliability because we then don't have as many accidents on our roads or in our parks, etc. And when we have those, people sue us. And so we pay to settle those lawsuits. It costs you more money. So it behooves us to maintain our assets to avoid that. It relieves and minimizes the numerous repairs that we have to make to facilities. It also reduces the downtime of programs and services. So we, in the past, have used a pay-as-you-go prior to the downturn in the economy. And that was, we scheduled our projects. We constantly review our facilities. We know when it's time to replace our roofs. We know when it's time to replace HVAC, etc. So we had it on a schedule. The board funded anywhere from 35 to 40 million or more on average across the board every year so that we could maintain our facilities. And as I previously stated, when the recession hit, we were unable to do it, and the fact that our facilities were all aging out. So we had the perfect storm at that time, and so now we have to either continue limping along and facilities continue to deteriorate, which will cost us more in the long run, or we considered an infrastructure surtax. It was not our first thought. We actually brainstormed, how do we catch up on our backlog? How should we fund the backlog? Should we issue bonds? Should we increase taxes? Or should we use the infrastructure surtax? And there are roughly about 8 different types of surtaxes. We chose infrastructure because then we as a community, the school board, the cities, and the county, we were all in the same condition. we needed to restore our existing facilities and or replace them. So we work on the infrastructure surtax. We know that it is a regressive tax. We were very cautious. We did our homework on it. And overall, we think that this was the best way to go so that we would not have to raise your taxes here in Palm Beach County. We put together, and as your brochure at your desk shows you, the onecounty1penny.org. It was just a brochure. So if you go on the website, if you want to find out about aging school buildings, you click on that building. It takes you to those links. You click on parks. It'll take you to those links and those particular projects. What we have in our plan, and we presented this plan to the Board of County Commissioners in February and then again in March. We started out on March 22nd. The Board of County Commissioners agreed to go forward after we laid out all of the options with a 1-cent sales referendum to fund infrastructure programs. On May 3rd, we went back to the board for approval and preliminary reading from permission to advertise an ordinance authorizing the 1-cent referendum. And then on May 10th, the BCC adopted an interlocal agreement between the school board and the cities so that we're all tied together in this particular issue. And we have outlined what we will do. This morning I'm going to talk to you a little bit about county dollars. We estimate we will receive anywhere from $698 million to $800 million if things are really good. We've actually culled down our list. When I first got our list, it was over $1 billion. And this infrastructure surtax, this penny tax, was meant to help us with the backlog, to eliminate it, to bring it up to speed, and then continue on a program that would be pay as you go, as opposed to borrowing money and paying unnecessary interest or raising taxes to move forward. We've got engineering. Of that $700 million budget that the board is looking at, they make up roughly about 28%. And it includes bridge replacements and modifications, road resurfacing and striping, pathways, signals and signalization systems, which will also enhance the flow of traffic. We're looking at street lighting. We've got areas that have no lights. They're some of our most crime-ridden areas. And so we need to put street lights in there to reduce the crime for those residents living in those areas. We also need to work on our stabilization of our canal banks, because if we don't maintain those canal banks, the road, it washes away, the bed washes away, and then we lose the roadway. We're going to be doing some piping of canals and renovations, and also addressing some drainage issues. We have areas that flood, we know where they are, and they are a priority for us in ensuring that you as residents are safe when you're traveling on our roadways. We also have a number of judicial and law enforcement type facilities. We've got the sheriff building and equipment along with the jail. Both of those type facilities are roughly about 38 years old. And it is time to replace the roofs, it is time to replace HVAC. They've got leakage inside the building, which we all know. You get leakage in a building, eventually if you don't fix it, it leads to the building continuing to deteriorate and potentially mold in the building, which means it's a sick building. So we have to address that particular issue. The jail. The jail is not in very good shape. It has moisture inside. Again, it's mold. The bars are not as sturdy as they should be in various sections. We're going to address that. We want the jail secure because the bad guys that are behind the bars, we want to keep them behind the bars. We want to also protect our law enforcement officers that are correctional officers, and they ensure those individuals remain behind bars. But we want to protect them as well. So we need to give them a healthy environment to work in. So we will be addressing that issue as well. We also own roughly about 800 buildings throughout this very large county. This county is larger than 3 or 4 states, so we're very large. And we've got those 800 plus facilities throughout the county. So we have allocated additional dollars to handle and come in and do renovations to buildings such as this one, with the lighting and a number of other things that we need to upgrade here in this building. But we've got other buildings. We have roughly about 12.4 million square feet of building space, square footage. So we've got to address some of those, and as they continue to age, the additional structures will be paid out of our regular taxing. But this particular penny will address again the backlog. We also have parks that we have to go in. We have to replace playground equipment, sports lighting and court replacements, athletic fields, pathways, bridges, aquatic facilities. We've got some that we're working very, very closely with the health department, so therefore we really do need to renovate those particular aquatic facilities if they're going to remain in usage. We will replace some septic tanks and repair and replace pavilions so that we can continue to enjoy our parks, and also boat replacements. We added a minimum of new facilities because we only looked at how do we maintain our level of service and protect that quality of life as to why you moved here. So we've added 2 new substations for the sheriff, one out in our central west communities and the other in the northwest community. We've also added parks, and that's to maintain our level of service. One of them will service your communities. We also added because we find ourselves faced with a homeless issue here in Palm Beach County. And it is a critical issue. Every single one of us deserve to have somewhere to lay our head that's safe. And so we want to focus on our homeless. The board has allocated additional funds, if this passes, for a second housing resource center. So as we find families, individuals that need, veterans that need help, etc., we bring them into these centers, and we then evaluate them and determine the types of services we need to wrap around them to make them whole again. So we will move forward with that. We're also, as you know, our housing cost is very expensive here in Palm Beach County. And so for our very low and low income families, the board has allocated some additional dollars so that we can begin to move forward and ensure that we remain a sustainable community. Because if we don't have workforce affordable housing in this county, we will not be sustainable. We won't be able to lure people in here to work and provide the services that you've grown accustomed to. So we will be addressing that. So that accounts for the approximately $700 million that the board has allocated in projects. If things go as we anticipate and pray, there will be another $100 million that will be there. But this is a 10-year plan. We will not receive these dollars the first year. Over 10 years, we'll generate our specific portion of $700 million to $800 million. But overall, that penny, that one penny, will generate $2.7 billion. I'm going to go really quickly through some of the slides just to show you throughout the county some of the projects that we'll be working on. Palm Beach Lakes Bridge is a very old bridge, very narrow, it's not that safe. We've got potholes, alligator cracks on our roadways. Some of you have been driving on them. We also have our canal, and if you notice to the right, on the right side, we started the stabilization program, but then we had to reduce our budget significantly. So to the left is an area that is not as stable as it should be. This is one of our priorities to go in and complete that particular project. Again, these are some of our roadways, and there was a study performed by an engineering firm on a national basis. And on a national basis, it informs us that roughly every household spends an additional $3,400 on average nationwide, because we don't maintain our infrastructure. The penny may hit a household, and it may cost you anywhere from $70 to $80 per year, depending on your spending patterns. Picture of the jail. I talked to you about the bars, the rusting, the moisture in the air, and it does not make for a safe environment. And again, some of these are, this particular jail is 38 years old, and it's time to replace the roofs, the floors, the wiring, etc. in this particular building. This is some of our parks. Lighting, we've got to replace, in addition to some of the poles. We have salt air here in South Florida specifically, and it just erodes away at our facilities that is located out in the weather. The Board of County Commissioners did give me approval to go out and hire third parties, people outside of the county. So it adds validity to what we were saying. And some of those companies, as you see on the slides, they came in and they actually looked at our methodology on how we evaluate our buildings and make a determination when to replace certain items. They found that our methodology was sound, being implemented by the staff. In addition, we hired a third party to come in and look at our spending patterns, high spending patterns. That company came back and said that the county was well managed financially, and that we were doing a very good job financially. So your dollars we're very frugal with, and we try to be as responsible as possible, balancing between being responsible fiscally, but also being responsible in maintaining and sustaining our community. Now, I know you're saying, okay, that's all well and fine, but my penny, what will I get out of my penny? So we've looked at from Boynton Beach down to Boca, and from the East Coast to out west. And of the county's $700 million, we're planning on spending roughly about $139 million here in the South. We're looking at bridges roughly totaling $13 million, drainage issues about $1 million, pathways $1.2 million, resurfacing and restriping about $42.2 million of the county dollars. We're looking at signals, striping 7.1. We're looking at facilities such as the one we're sitting in and doing upgrades, and also parks, roughly about $64.4 million, totaling the $139.7. That's the amount that we're going to spend on county-owned facilities within your region. There are cities, some of you are close in proximities to cities. Boca will receive anywhere from 52 to 61 million. Boynton Beach will receive 43 million to 50 million. And Delray Beach will receive 37.7 to 44.5 million, totaling 132 million to 157 million. So our dollars will augment in some instances, the city's improvements as well. Ours will be spent upon county projects and facilities. They will spend theirs within their cities. We will leverage, we will partner with them when it is appropriate to partner with them, so that we can stretch our dollars, get the best bang for our buck. The 1 penny sales tax. The penny surtax applies to all transactions subject to the state sales tax. That's per statute. The county does not have the authority to exempt anything. We must abide by the law. The tax applies to the first $5,000 of sale price of tangible personal property. Let's say you buy an expensive car over $50,000. The max additional you will pay will be $50. Many items are exempt. food, baby food and formula, medicines, and there are some other agricultural products that are also exempt from the sales tax. One of the good things about this particular tax, this particular penny, is that this penny will be collected. It'll go to Tallahassee. They'll do their take their 2% administrative fee, but then the 98% of this penny comes back and is expended locally. We're looking and working diligently at presenting and requiring local preference as well as local hire, where we hire people locally, businesses as well as individuals. The best thing of all is that tourists will also pay. We estimate they will generate roughly about 25% of the $2.7 billion we're looking at. And as our tourism industry grows, they will generate even more. So we're really excited about that particular point. A plan. What are you going to do with this penny? It's going to be 1 penny, ending on or before 10 years, which will be 2026. It includes the school board, the cities, and the county. We will create oversight citizen committees to audit spending and ensure compliance so that they know and ensure we spend the money for the purpose in which we're telling you. And that's for the roadways, the bridges, etc., that I explained earlier. The distribution of the penny. The school board will receive 50% of it, county will receive 30%, and the cities will receive 20%. This is our penny, and this is the distribution of it. So the school board will end up with roughly about anywhere from $1.1 billion to $1.3 billion over a 10-year period. The county, again, is the $700 million to $800 million. And then the cities is $450 million to $538 million. And that's the breakdown. The ballot language I referred to earlier lays out specifically what this penny can be expended for. And the purpose of it is to enhance education by improving district-owned school buildings, equipment, technology, and security, purchase school buses, which we all need, public safety vehicles and equipment, and to equip, construct, and repair roads, bridges, signals, street lights, infrastructure, recreational, and government facilities, parks, drainage, shoreline, wastewater infrastructure. The county, the penny, will begin January 1 of 2017 and automatically end on or before December 31st of 2026 with independent oversight by the Citizens Committee. And the actual ballot language will ask you to either vote for it or against it. And I'm hoping that you recognize we need to maintain our assets and move us forward. The actual economic benefit is $6 billion over a 15-year period. And we anticipated generating roughly about 46,000 temporary jobs and permanent jobs. So it is not to increase our budget to do new things just to do them. It is really to assist us in properly maintaining our existing assets and then to add a few new things based upon population growth so that we maintain our level of service and our quality of life here in Palm Beach County. So I've told you what I know about the sales tax. I've been living and breathing it. I have a daughter that has just graduated from college, and she's home with me and her father. And so we know that we need housing. She also needs jobs. And there are other people in our community that will also need those same things, housing, jobs. And for our residents here that are unemployed, we'll be able to employ them if this penny passes, because we will have projects moving forward. So I'm going to stop now and answer any questions that you may have of me.
That was such a terrific, terrific presentation. Thank you. I have never seen a penny explained so well and broken down so well. I saw someone raise a hand right over here, and can you ask your question?
My question is, these figures that you just went over, are they available on the website?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And we have another one over here.
The money's being allocated to the various cities and county. What share does the unincorporated portion of Delray Beach receive?
That's a good question. We did not break it out in that particular manner. However, the website will show you exactly what projects in your area are on the list. So we're estimating revenues, but we specifically identified the projects those revenues will be expended on. And you can go to the website, it will also provide that.
When you have to purchase new school buses, would you please consider, and perhaps you're already doing it, that they have air conditioning?
I will pass that on to the school board. And if I make no mistake, the last bus, the new bus I saw had seatbelts on it. And they do encourage the kids to use the seatbelts. The new ones I've seen have air conditioning. So again, the school board is definitely on top of it, and they're buying the latest buses, which would include those type of amenities.
One more question.
I thought we were told that the lottery was supposed to support the schools.
I think that was New Jersey. Oh, is there?
I can't answer that question. That's really, the school board funding primarily is dictated by the legislature. And so that's an issue that the school board constantly talks to our legislators regarding.
My problem with this tax, it's a regressive tax. Besides that point, when this was first being proposed a couple of months ago, there were squabbles among how much various cultural institutions were going to get out of this tax. Have they been now eliminated since they are not infrastructure?
They have been eliminated.
I would like for you to, okay, there's a question here from Harold Kleiner, one of our first board members ever of the Alliance of Delray. Here you go.
I understand that this includes hiring about 62 or 64 new employees. Is that true?
No, sir, not this particular one. I believe you're referring to what was in the newspaper, and that was our regular budget through property taxes. Yes, sir, it really is. And I actually scrutinized every request that came in. I turned down much more than what was placed into consideration by the board. Of those 63 positions, roughly about 24 are Avalon impacted. The rest are fee structured. And so unless you utilize them, don't pay for that particular position.
I see with the breakdown that some of the money's coming to South County,
Yes,
and then some go to the cities, which Delray Beach, and we do have a lot to do with the beach, and it's a lot of entertainment we get down there. We work with them a lot. We have the beach. Can you just explain to us a little bit about how the county works with the cities to make sure whatever that tax money goes to the proper place, or what infrastructure, whatever? Do you have a breakdown with the cities, or an idea of what it is?
Some of the cities have submitted their detailed plan. Others have not. They're still either working on them, or they will be included as a part of their overall five-year capital plan. The funding goes up to the state. The state then submits the revenue back to the county, our portion, submits the school board's portion directly to them, and each of our 38 municipalities, even though we have 39, the 39 does not necessarily have enough population that they probably won't get anything until they start to really build and people fill in. However, those remaining 38, that portion is based upon population. And so they'll get their appropriate distribution from the Department of Revenue direct. So the county would not be responsible for the cities. They are required by the ordinance the board passed and the ballot language if it passes to have an oversight committee. So the League of Cities may have one oversight committee that will oversee the expenditures, and or different cities will have their own and the league will also have one.
Thank you for explaining that. Wow, well, we've exhausted the questions. We can go to the website, and we thank you so much for explaining this. What a great job. Thank you. Now it is all up to us to vote. And Virginia Baker has explained this very well, even-handedly, and we just came across with an understanding, and now we can make the intellectual decision about what we want to do with that. And we all know the direction we want to proceed forward with the county and everything, so we need to, one way or another, this all has to be done, right? Thank you so much.
And thank you.
Yes. Okay, well, this was a terrific program, and next month's going to be another terrific program. And then waiting to see what we have in store for the rest of the year. The phone squad. We have a terrific phone squad, but we do need some volunteers. We've had a little attrition this summer, so please, for the phone squad, please speak to Norma Arnold here. And she will take your name if you'd like to be on the phone squad. And remember, your surveys, that's going to help immensely for this year's programming. And we also welcomed a new community to the Alliance of Delray. The Bridges has joined the Alliance of Delray community. So welcome the Bridges. And is Glenn here? Where's Glenn? There he is. Glenn Harvey from our sister organization, Cobra, has joined us in our meeting too. Welcome. He's the new president, Cobra. So have a terrific month, and we'll see you next month, and I'm sure Bob will be back.